Good morning, Patreoners. 8:26 Central Time, 9:26 Eastern Time. We're about to kick off OPEX Day. Y'all know what that means, at least. I hope y'all know what that means in terms of what we've been posting. Today is a day of volatility. There's a lot of gamma expiring today. There's a huge open interest wall at 4,700. There's a massive amount of calls and puts close in place there. If we do pop above there, expect some upward volatility. However, just be open-minded and make sure that volatility is the big name of your big thought in your mind, not necessarily bullish or bearish. We're going to play with them. Obviously, yesterday we saw what happened. A lot of downside followed by even more upside. And you see just how quickly the market can turn on a dime. That's why I'm saying focus on the levels, both the spot cap levels as well as our levels that we calculated with market analysis, and play at the levels, not in between the levels. That will right there help you become much more profitable at the moment. If you do see things, big lesson for me yesterday, and I haven't posted my write-up yesterday for yesterday's play. Overarching view is that I took a call. Things were actually working quite well. I was happy with the entry. I was up 13%. It quickly broke down. I actually tried to put in a limit sell, and I didn't get it. And then instead of exiting that position, I held on to it and took a loss on it. Actually, that downward flush put me at like a little over 30% loss on that. And then instead of worrying about getting into the put, I was trying to manage getting out of the call. So that's unfortunately not only did I take a loss, but I missed a big downside. So you just see how quickly things can break down. I went from being happy at 13%, and then immediately I was crushed. So just see how quickly even me, how quickly things can go against you. So you're not alone. It happens to the best of us. So not saying I'm the best, but you catch my drift here. So I'm going to do an overall rundown of everything and all my thoughts and levels in the OM notes. I'll do that later today, so you can kind of look at this weekend. But yeah, today I'm going to be looking for a healthy projection or bounce off of this 4,700 level. Futures reclaim this level with this huge run up into the open, this little green candles after the big downside because of COVID concerns. And then overall, we have a massive amount of gamma expiring today, and we'll see how the market starts to anticipate the movements there. And yeah, so anyway, 46.98 right now. We've got 2 minutes until the market opens. We have got let's see here. Boom. Let me take a look here. I'm going to be looking at not the 1 day. I'm going to look at the 20-second contracts, and then for SPY, I'm going to be probably the 471s and then the 467s. All right, posted. Yep, my bad. Yeah, the music is on there because I didn't intend to have the YouTubers on there with us. But hey, we are good to go. Boom. Hey, what's going on, YouTubers? What's going on? Yeah, we've got about a minute until the market is going to be open. And yeah, so I posted the pre-market analysis for the public, not just for our Patreons today. So I don't mind if you see all the levels. And be on the lookout for a little bit of movement here. So I'm going to post my watch list there. I've got my SPY current really up there, and there's the market open, green candles right out of the gate. I've got the VIX because I want to measure volatility today as we're 1824. And here right now is SPY at 469.52 after this little pop-up just on R1. All right, so at the gate, we got that green and then red down to 469.38, which is our current R1 level. A lot of volatility already in pre-market trading, so I'm probably not going to be all that aggressive right out of the gate. I'm going to let things shake and bake, and because there's going to be plenty of movement today. I'm not going to be worried about missing a play, so I'm going to play smart and make sure that I'm on my toes. Yeah, VIX right now has spiked up after that big news there. Last night we came up to, or this morning we came up to 1878. We've kind of been fluctuating up and down since they're currently at 1822. And then here we are, shaking and baking. Let's look around the market here. QQQ right now is been flat all market. Didn't give nearly as much up as the futures did. Nasdaq been holding strong. They have significant less gamma expiring today as of SPY or the futures. I'm sorry, the futures have a great deal, or SPX. I'm sorry, has a great deal of gamma expiring today. Nasdaq has only had or QQQ only has a very little, and relatively little, I should say. So probably less volatility there as well. The bonds now are up and have a green candle there. The rates now have been down, gap down just slightly. XLK, red candle. Let's take a look around the X's here. All pretty similar action, either flat or a red candle out of the gate. Tech had a crazy day yesterday. Apple was absolutely went nuts. Amazon went up 130 points, which is crazy. Actually, Amazon is up 13% since on October 28th when they posted their missed earnings. So they've raged 13%. They went from 3,250 to 3,700, which is a colossal move for a $3,000 stock, or almost a $4,000 stock now. Facebook is red, Google is red, Nvidia is flat, Tesla's flat. So a lot of the tech is pretty much flat, little red and green out of the gate, but flat for the most part. And SPY has given up the green that they just pumped up in the pre-market. Boom. I'm on the Discord stream as well. I'm doing on the Patreon stream, or the Stages channel. We opened up a stage yesterday to test that. It worked out quite well. So I think we're going to keep rolling with the Patreon stream, or the Stages channel. Alrighty. So I'm going to dig in here. I've posted my SPY watch list. I'm going to come in and choose the SPXs now. Let's see. Still doing with the November 22nd here. The volume is decent there, no 47.15s. So I'm going to go 47.15s on the SPX and 46.95. Couple of red candles here. All right, posted. Yep, I like the stages as well. Unfortunately, it is capped to 1,000 people. So once 1,000 of you all start joining the Discord streams, we'll have to figure out a new solution because unfortunately, yeah, we cap it there. Look at this nice red giving up all that green out of the gate. So we got S1, which is 468.43, and it's almost there on SPX as well. QQQ's got a little red here, VIX. I don't need to check the VIX. I'm holding the VIX down here. And there is a little green, still trading flat on the VIX. That's old, don't need that. And wick up here on the red. All right, so Q's now went green. SPX here had that big wick up after the downside, so now it just flipped green. And I want to focus here what's going to XLF sector. We had a lot of movement in XLF the past 2 days, including pre-market, and now they're red again. The bonds now are still flat, but green. SPY, big movement up here. Just flipping that red over to a nice little green hammer candle on a little bit of buying volume here. Let's see how that continues to play out. Yeah, I know real estate. That's one of the options as well. The only problem is that the YouTube's got a little bit of delay, so I was trying to avoid that as much as possible. Is that delay? That's why the Discord works so well. All right, session ranges so far 46973, 46871, which is a $2 range right now. Obviously, the market just opened, so the ranges aren't set yet, but just to be aware. Is the Strangle still played today? We'll see. We'll see. If I, the reason why I played that Strangle yesterday, which is great, I actually really greatly enjoyed playing that Strangle, or I'm sorry, the Straddle, not the Strangle, because I was expecting a move. I just wasn't entirely sure how we were going to move. So I played that Straddle. I held it for like 2.5 hours, and I ended up with 8% on that. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun to play that. Nice, Dick Mass. Yeah, so the difference between the main straddle and strangle, and I'm watching the chart here, so we've currently got R1. I'm not looking to take a play just yet. I want to play the break. So the difference between a straddle and a strangle is when you're doing a short strangle, you're anticipating not much movement, or maybe some movement that just stays within a defined range. A straddle is where you're wanting a breakout, but you're not exactly sure which direction you're going to play. And there's two ways you could play the straddles. You could enter the straddle, and then you could play the straddle to either expiration, or you could play it just close the straddle and open the straddle as you see fit. So if you get the breakout, as long as you have a big enough breakout, it'll overcome the downside and you still become profitable. Or you could play it like I did yesterday, is that take the straddle as an undefined, whereas you're not really sure which level is going to break, and then once it does break, you manage the closing position or the losing position. So yesterday, for example, I entered the straddle and it was 2.5 hours worth of position, and I was still break even the entire time. And then once it broke to the downside, I elected to close the call side of things, let the puts run, and I closed 8%. So it was a great play. It's actually quite enjoyable, low risk, and if you are expecting a move, it's a good position to actually start to manage, especially if you've got if you want to do those kind of spreads or those positions and you don't have the resources or the know-how to do the short positions like strangles. The straddles are a good way to start thinking about how positions move. So definitely recommend it because it makes you think. It makes you think. It's a little more than buying just a particular position, and it helps you manage. It helps you think about managing your positions, because you have to think about, when do I actually close the losing leg? Because the fear is, for example, the position will start to fall. You'll close the losing call, let the puts run, and then it'll immediately reverse on you. So then you'll close your call, and then you'll lose money on the puts, which is a risk, and that is the fear. But you have to learn how to play that stuff. So yeah. Yeah, the $2 trillion plan is on the table today. All right, a little bit of green here coming up. We're still pinned to R1 just right now. With the straddle, you are buying. You are buying, simultaneously buying a put and a call at the same strike, same expiration. Now you can go heavier. You can also, the way I play it is I play neutral position. So I'm neutral long, or I'm neutral position. So I mean the same number of calls, same number of puts. Some people, they adjust it. Sometimes they think if they want to take a straddle, there's some uncertainty, but they think it's going to be more downside, then they'll buy more puts than they will calls, and that's going to be your net short. So you have to manage that position. But you're buying a position. When you're doing strangles, you're going to be selling that position. So it's a short position. All right, let's take a look down here at the Nasdaq. Oh, I want to keep that on the VIX. The Nasdaq here. So the Nasdaq has been relatively flat compared to what the futures have been. They've been pretty much flat all morning, whereas the futures took this beating right here and now gained a little bit back, but are still fighting to come up there. SPY now is still pinned right to R1 after this red and green candle. My thoughts for the day is going to be volatility in the morning. Let's watch. You know, we've been talking a lot about session ranges with veteran session ranges, which are quite accurate, and we have to realize that, or we have to focus on the time frame. There's a reason why it's a time frame. There's a reason why that thing shuts off at 9:05 Central, 10:05 Eastern time, and that's just not a point. That's just not random. There's a reason why, and there's a defined reason as to why. So let's watch the volatility and the movement at 9:05 Eastern or 9:05 Central, 10:05 Eastern time. In fact, yesterday, if we go back and look, and Veteran posted a great write-up about his plays yesterday. Right here, you look right there, 9:06, which is 10:06 Central, right when the range is set. Look what happened. I mean, it's the position moved. So you see that the volatility injects right about there, and we need to watch. It was breaching 470 level in the PM, meaning more likely or less likely to breach that again. Well, there is a significant call wall right here on the SPX that we're at. There's a big call wall at 4,700, 4,725, and there's a great deal of OI at 4,700. So we have this little bit of resistance here. So the fact that we came up and tested that level and then immediately rejected shows that there is some resistance there, and we need to cage our eyes to that level, especially as SPX continues to test that level. So I've got VIX on the bottom here. Let me turn on the watermarks. There it is. Okay, there's the watermarks. Still not much movement. It's pinned right here at R1. Veteran is he's an individual in our community that posts a lot of good information. So we're watching for the break here. SPX right now is at 47.03, which is pinned right there. And I've got some of these levels pinned from spot gamma, which is max drawdown here, volume trigger, supportive gamma, and the call wall. So we're right in between, or the upper range of the supportive and then the call wall right there, with the current resistance at this open interest at this 4,700 level. All right, we finally have a little bit of green there. Tech is growing. XLF has been down, but it's been leveling out. It's kind of have this level with the bottom wicks, which is indicative of a bottom. XLI is green. XLC is green here. XLP, a lot of green action here. XL real estate's popping up here with everything else. So a lot of green starting to come across all the sectors. Man, double green candles here as we just rage right off R1 and again heading up to R2. Is VIX inverse of SPY? Most of the time, yes, it does inverse, especially in this bullish market where we kind of grind up on low volume and implied volatility is very low. Usually any kind of massive volatility, fluctuation in prices and volatility creates downside in the market. When volatility enters the market, it's usually from a downward perspective. That's why you have the inverse relationship of SPY and SPX. Occasionally, they do tread together. They correlate. And when that happens is that the market is charged. It's charged to the upside. There's a lot of liquidity injecting into the market, and they're bidding the stock higher and higher, SPY higher and higher and higher. So that's why sometimes when you see them coming together, it's because it's usually a liquidity charge situation. Yep, I'm going to do actually a how-to video on some long straddles this weekend. That'll be my next how-to video. And how to manage them. Like, I think it's a great thing to start. The whole point of one of those is why I'm so passionate about those particular type of plays, is because, yeah, obviously it's a different way on which you can make money on when market conditions shift away from making long positions the preferred method, but it helps you think about how to manage positions. When you start doing those type of plays, short strangles, long straddles, when you start thinking about put credit spreads, call credit spreads, you start to learn how to manage positions and start learning how the market actually works, how options work, how to take advantage of implied volatility, how to take advantage of delta, all that kind of thing. So when you start thinking about that, you can start to become a better trader, and it'll actually help you be a long, like a trader, like a long trader for long calls, long puts, a day trader, because you start to think how things work. When's the best time to take it? All right, well, I want to take a put, but implied volatility is 30% on SPY, and the chances of playing a profitable put to the downside when implied volatility is very high is very low. The chances of getting a profitable trade when implied volatility is very high and some downside is very low. So instead of taking a long put, I'll go a short call and take advantage of that high implied volatility decaying, and you have that implied volatility crash, and you start netting profit instead of fighting a long put position, which is a low chance of probability, a low chance of success on a downward move. So you start to think about all that kind of stuff. So I'm very passionate about that. I mean, I could talk for hours about this type of stuff. I'm a sucker for analytics and strategy. So anyway, we got this red candle. Look at that big. I guarantee some people just got waylaid there, just like I was yesterday. Big green candle immediately waylaid. Red reversed all the way back down. It's because there's a significant amount of resistance right here. So when you have this much of open interest at that particular level, you need a commensurate amount of volume to pop those levels. That's why I was telling you, we talk all the time about the rubber band theory. That we're not just going to buy a position based on a breaking of a particular level. We want volume and we want momentum to break those levels, and that's why I give you the good visualization of the rubber band theory, because you want to stretch the rubber band and then pop it, and you can't do that unless you have enough oomph, which comes in the form of volume. So that's using the rubber band theory. Yes, you're not gonna quite catch the beginning of the movement. You're gonna give a little bit back by delaying the entry, which is fine, but you're also going to minimize the times that you get reversed, just like this, just like yesterday. I got reversed in the end of the afternoon. I took an 8% loss in the afternoon because I was buying under increasing volume and breaking of a level, and I immediately got reversed. So it happens, but it'll reduce the amount of times that it happens when you start following the rubber band theory. House of Representatives passed the bill. Yep. Well, thanks, Alexander. All right, so we got this red, green, red right at R1. VIX still is holding 1791. If VIX were to start going a little crazy with the volatility coming, if the VIX were to start going crazy, VIX could puncture the lower 20 level. When we start getting up here, now remember, like the VIX being at 18 is no small feat. You see the implied volatility start to increase. You see the pricing start to increase a little bit. That's indicative of a market starting to maybe anticipate a downward move in the future, maybe next week. The VIX right now is 1783, 18. If we start climbing up, and maybe even touch 19, that's a high level for us now. If we start pricing in the 20 movements, the $20 or the 20 points on VIX, then we could start considering some downside movement and maybe even take some long-term put positions. S4R3, I believe, are the big uns. They're the big uns, if we get there. S4R3. If y'all didn't see it, anybody who's not a part of the Discord, if you look on my Twitter account or the Reddit account, I posted the pre-market analysis for everybody. So if you want to take a look at the R levels there, or you can kind of scribble them down here on the YouTube stream. But VIX is starting to drop, 1782. We've got the QQQ is spiking up here. XLK is green there. XLV downward action there, and XLF is still dropping. So we're kind of setting up the similar movement to yesterday. This is similar to yesterday. We had tech was very strong. XLF was down all morning long. And then the whole market reversed on us, and then we went down and then back up. We did that V recovery, crazy V recovery. And here we've got these nice red and green big candles, red, green, and we're continually bouncing off R1 on this upward trending action here. And I'll be looking for the break. How bad of a play was buying SPY calls today? Well, for me, I haven't taken a position yet. I'm not looking to take a position just now. I'm waiting for the break. With this volatility, I don't want to be caught up in a losing position when there's going to be plenty of volatility later in the later half of the day. So what I want to do is play the break. I want to play under the AM range or above the AM range if we were to spike above. But if we whatever, I want to play the break. We've got R1 breaking up here. R2 is starting to close in with the AM session range. And the more that my levels correlate with veteran session range, the better. That just gives me more correlation. The more correlation I have, the more confidence I have that I can make a play based on those levels. Anyway, I know I've had a little too much coffee today, so I'm talking a mile a minute here, but I'm hoping y'all are kind of picking up what I'm putting down here. Anyway, 364 people watching. Hit that like button for me. Helps us get out there, start to get people's minds thinking, teaching, learning how to do this. Anyway, got this bottom wick right off R1. Qs are starting to go right there, going exponential again. Apple continuing on its rocket ship. Microsoft, kind of this upward, same SPY, similar action. Amazon's up 37.43. Facebook's climbing. Nvidia's climbing. Tesla's down. Thanks, Andre. Appreciate that. Are you going to stream in the afternoon or later in the day? I'll be doing the Discord stream, but not on the not on the YouTube. You're like a hummingbird on Red Bill, yeah, buddy. Hummingbird and Red Bill and Mountain Dew all wrapped in one. Yeah, Veteran just posted, we are trading right where the institutions are struggling. Don't be trading here. Don't be trading here. I trade my best when I wait. All my big wins, I've had 300% wins in the past 3 weeks, 2 weeks, and every single time it's been after being very patient, waiting for 2-3 hours without taking a trade, and then jumping on. Anyway, if y'all want to follow me on Twitter as well, go over there, OPTS Millionaire, Ops Millionaire. I couldn't get Options Millionaire because somebody already had it, but Ops Millionaire. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm posting more and more updates there as well as in the Discord. It actually worked out pretty well because last week, or this beginning of the week when Discord went down, I was posting a little bit on Twitter. So follow me on there. It's a good resource in the event that Discord does go down. You can still follow me there. So, yeah. What time frame am I looking at? This is currently the 3-minute, and then occasionally I'll switch out to the 5-minute. You see the nice wicks on the 5-minute chart. 15-minute chart is there as well. Big wicks on the 15-minute. No bodies at all on the 15-minute. And then 3-minute chart here bouncing off of R1. Dropped a coin. All right, still just kind of trending up here. We've got 10 minutes until the AM's range is set. These yellow dots, that's what those are. Those are yellow dots called the OM session range. You could find that on TradingView. And those are drawn from market open until 10:05 Eastern Time. 10:05 Eastern Time. Thoughts on how OPEX might affect us going in through the day? Volatility. It's going to increase volatility. Now, actually got some criticism yesterday on Reddit for this, which, you know, what's new? All Reddit, all it is criticism. But so, you know, I don't really want to hang my hat on a particular trade. What I want to do is post my levels, watch the volatility, and watch the trade at the levels. So my job is not to read the crystal ball, it's to read what the market is giving me and make a prediction based off of the levels. So I know volatility is going to be increasing. There's going to be some crazy movements. And my job is to play at certain time frames and certain volume and price action off of our levels. So if it goes up, and this is why on SPX I've created particular levels. If we bounce up to 47.25, I'm going to be cautious to take calls here because it could reject. If we come down here, we have a lot of support. So if SPX decides to fall to 46.50, I'm not going to take puts here because it could bounce. It's our job to just notate these points in time to react to the market and know when to get in and out of a position. Little green action here, come up to the top. We've got 7-8 minutes until the morning range is set. Let's see, SPX is climbing up here. QQQ is just rocketing through the top. XLF is still down. SPY starting to hollow out that range a little bit. And climbing up here, climbing up here. $470.11, and just under. We got 469.99 coming up to 470.11, and watching how this range is set. We've got a few minutes before it until this thing sets. Watching the VIX here. The VIX really isn't moving all that much, and we got a big green right up to R2, and coming up there to 47.10 on SPX. Yep, if you go into TradingView and you search for OM session ranges, you'll get these yellow and blue dots. Alrighty. So watching how this plays out here, we got a few minutes there. Right off R2, we've got a little bit of a wick. Still not making a play. I'm going to wait for things to shake out because I know we are approaching a heavy resistance, and I want to play the breakouts. Yeah, R3 and S4. Those are the two big ones. R3, S4. How can you confirm a breakout? You look for volume and price action. Those are the two big things you want to look at. And then it's commensurate around what levels you're seeing it as well. If you see a big breakout through a big resistance, you know that the volume is going to be commensurate enough to actually bring that through. And that's what you want to be looking for. Key levels. QQQ is climbing up here as well. SPY. And there's that red right at R2. Now flipping green. All right. Apple's going crazy still. Man, tech is just very green today. Watching the X's, XLV and F are both down. And there's that red candle. Boom, right at R2. Right at R2. Big flush right there. Alex, I personally don't, I don't, that's something I hear all the time, and I'll let you speak for yourself. Why don't you come in the community and find out for yourself? So, obviously you have a bias, and obviously you're salty about something, but yeah. Come join, find out for yourself. 469.92. Coming up on 10:05, we got 4 minutes. Did I cut loose my November 30 puts? Yeah, a long time ago. Long time ago. Y'all are great. Y'all are great. All right. Man, look at that nice rejection. Green candles. We keep the sodium levels low. I love it. All righty. So I love seeing action like this. Why? Because we know why it just rejected that, and it's holding true. So when you start to see price action uh, that is actually tied to the data, and you know why, it's a great feeling. So you see that big green candle, it's immediately hit right at R2. It's a great feeling. Could it be beneficial to do the lines on QQQ? Yeah, in the future I'm going to be doing that. Right now it's about carving out time resources to do all that. But yeah, doing QQQ or lines would be helpful as well as any other equity or derivative as well. Yeah, veteran is a fantastic resource, man. What an awesome dude, heart of a teacher. That's exactly one of my primary rules on Reddit or in this community is have a heart of a teacher, and he definitely embodies that. So awesome dude, awesome dude. Look at that, look at that. So we hollered at that range just to R2 here, and we've got 2 minutes now, 1 minute until down. Exactly, Antonio. How do we practice trading? Well, I mean, I think that's a long-winded answer. So you can do. I mean, there's paper trading you could do. There's you could actually start doing just micro positions. You could do. There's a number of ways. Number of ways. The first trading I ever did practicing back in high school was literally on a piece of paper, like literally paper trading, literally. All right, look at that big rejection, man. Clean right off of that level, right off of it. So top of the morning range. We've got 1 minute here. And I'll be looking at I'm going to start bringing up my calls. I'm actually going to adjust these to the 4720s. I'm pretty sure all brokers offer some sort of paper trading, don't they? I could be wrong about that. I think they all do. All right, I'm gonna pause on questions just for a second because I know we got 9:05 here, and we got some movement potential coming. Oh, okay. I just figured. All right. So VIX is start to increase just slightly. QQQ's got a red. SPY. I've got calls pulled up, but nothing yet. Nothing yet. All right, right onto R1, checked up slightly, and now just a red that's coming down a little bit. Nice 3 big red candles right through R1. And how many times have we tested 4,700, this 47 level, and rejected? It's just crazy. It's crazy. But when you have, like, what, 58,000, I think? 58,000 of open interest right here at 4,700. When you've got that kind of level, like I said, it's going to be tough to bust. All right, XLF is starting to round, as well as XLV has 1 green candle. Yep, that's right, Chief. That's right. Look at that nice bottom wick right there. Calls inputs, and that's the problem, or that, I guess, the problem. That's the reason why it's so strong, because there's a huge open interest of calls and puts at 4,700. That red candle was bought up, now flipped green. Holding R1 right here. Man, no movement. So that thing came down. We have this candle is just pinned right now. Right through VWAP. Yeah, they did have a hammer right there for a sec, but it's gone red. There it is. There's that green. Apple. Let's see. Click through here. Google's red. They are trying, but it's pinned right here, right back to R1. We were pinned here all morning. We came up there, we touched that wall, bam, right back down. Right back down. Another one. Man, the hate is big on YouTube today. No. Actually, I removed my live stream because I had a copyright violation that I had to remove. Otherwise, I was going to get tipped, but whatever. Oh, look, he created a burner account. That's the same dude with a different name. I love it. I love it. Keep it coming. It sustains me. It sustains me. All right. So we've got green, then red, then green. A red, green, red right here at 469. Just watching right here. It is past the 9:05, 10:05 Eastern time, and we're coming on down. Coming on down. I think I found my downvote. You're right. Every day I've been getting at least one. I love it. Right through here. So we're just waiting. Probably be sitting on my hands if this keeps up here, because I'll be looking at, like I said, I want to play the breaks. And right now we don't really have much. A little bit of movement here. You could probably scalp out 10 to 15%. Better than that. Not much movement. Let's just move it. All right. Boom. Becoming a distraction. I'll entertain that for a little bit now, but now you're becoming a distraction. So yeah. Still waiting, so we're still holding this R1. Not much movement. So if y'all got any questions, let me know while we're waiting for this action to break. This is a good time to answer questions, to go over a few things if you have any questions about yesterday's plays, today. It's good stuff. Yeah, I mean, trust me, I've been dealing with this since day one. Like, I could show you my account. I could show you my 200 plus shares of Amazon. I could show you, all my long-term account. I could show you but what does that prove? Like, what does that prove? Like, do you want me to just beat my chest and show you how many zeros I got, or do you want to learn how to trade? So, and I'll let y'all have the proofs in the pudding. I'll let y'all decide. So. Yeah, buddy. I can't do the yeah, buddy unless we got some movement. So. Pin right here, R1. It's funny how we went up there, we bounced off R2, came down, now we've pinned right at R1, and now there's not moving. So. I did Wolfenstein. Yep. So I posted my yeah, right. I posted my levels for and my pre-market analysis for everyone today on Reddit as well as Twitter, just to show them what we do in the market in the morning. So. How much volume is enough to play the breakout? It's all relative. It's all relative, honestly. It's all relative. So it's not necessarily a certain number I'm looking for. Is like I want if I'm looking for price action to start popping through a particular level, like the 4,700, I want to make sure that there's a continual level of volume popping through there. So. I appreciate that. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are awesome. What's my favorite food at Thanksgiving? Ooh, probably turkey and mashed potatoes and gravy. Can't beat that. All right, so the Biden says the Build Back Better bill is fully paid for. Okay. So now that the House has passed it, we'll go on. So we'll see. Yeah, actually, I'm actually smoking a turkey this year. Yesterday, in fact, 2 days ago, while they're on the topic of food waiting, I made an awesome braised short ribs, posted it in the food channel. They were delicious, amazing, incredible. So, do I own any SPY shares? Absolutely, absolutely. You can't, and I'm on the side with. I set my hat firmly with holy crap, I just Buffett, that he says you can't beat the overall returns of an ETF over the course of decades. So, you definitely have to hold some ETFs. Applewood's my favorite. Yeah, I've deep fried a turkey before, but smoking for me, I smoked one last year and it was ridiculous. Oh, thanks. Known to be no one. Appreciate that. I would love to see you look at the daily chart and talk about where in a cycle a market maker accumulating or selling in a bit of longer term basis. Think in reference of the VPA book. For sure. Yeah, great. We'll do that. What injection are you doing? It's the combination of the uh, chicken bouillon mixed with butter. You inject that. Delicious. Anyway, not to get too far down into the weeds on some food. I could talk about food all day long too, but still stuck right to R1. Might be a good time to start popping in some strangles if this holds. We'll see. Thank y'all for all the follows on Twitter. Good stuff. Increased visibility. Do I take consideration patterns? No, I don't. I think it's an hour per pound, so 10 to 12 hours. If I remember right, I have to look at my recipe. I've got it written down. Can I explain strangles? Yeah, so a strangle, you want to go with a short strangle when you anticipate the price action pinning at a certain level. Whether it stays there or it kind of oscillates up and down like a cosine curve around a particular level, you want to open that strangle around there. Some people play 0 DTEs, like 2 or 3 DTE, which is kind of where I ballpark at 2 or 3 DTE. I play anywhere from 0.1 to 0.15 deltas, and you want the price to pin there, and you collect that premium. So what you do is you sell a call and a put at the same time in a bracket strategy where it's around a particular price that you think is going to pin, and you collect that premium. And you want that thing to expire worthless because that's when you collect 100% of that premium. Ooh. Now that is a heck of a... Thanks, hold my beer. I think I'm going to buy that. I like that. That's what I've been looking for. Well, thanks, Cornell. I appreciate that. Y'all are humbling. I appreciate. Yeah, it's amazing. I love this community. Yep, you need to be approved for selling for sure. I think level 3, level 4 trading. You need to be done on E-Trade in order to do all that. So not everybody can do that. Just a little FYI. So we've pinned right here at R1. I see this. Jeff says, what does negative gamma mean in spot gamma? If you look at it, that's where where market makers are actually playing with the trend. So if you look there, actually, let me bring up the chart here. Where'd it go? I'm bringing up the spot gamma charts here. All right, so you come down to, for example, 4671 has a large amount of negative gamma right there. So when you come down to that far, you're expecting that market makers are actually going to start removing liquidity. That's when you start to see a lot more volatility. When you start getting up in the heavy levels of positive gamma, you're going to have a little less volatility. Things are going to be pinned because there's a whole bunch there. When you start coming down to that negative gamma level, you're going to start increasing some volatility. Yeah, I'm considering a couple of different options here. Unfortunately, the Discord video only it capped it at 25 people, and obviously that wouldn't work. So we're figuring out some different options. Good, Sandy. I hope Boeing goes down even more so I can load up even more. All right, currently pinned right here at R1. XLF is finally starting to climb. We have a green candle on XLV. Green candle forming. How did you manage to trade as far as profit target or target or stop loss? Stop loss, usually, it depends on the price action. Sometimes I'll let it go a little bit more. Obviously, yesterday I had a big loss. Sometimes I'll cut it, right at break even. I won't even let it go red. Sometimes I'll cut it before it even goes red. So it all depends on a particular price action or how confident I am. Same thing with profit target. Let's go to Boeing. Right here. Good. 218. 218. Keep it coming. I never thought we'd see the low 200s again. In my opinion, long term, and I'm talking 5-6 years, there's not a better investment than Boeing in terms of what you can make. Still pinned, still pinned. All right, so looking at the November 22nd, 47.20 calls. They're currently trading for 740 each right now. They've got plenty of volume on there, 1.5 thousand in volume. Actually, I'm going to do that, yeah. So great open interest, great volume on these. The deltas are good, 32 deltas, 0.32 deltas. So in a short strangle, you sell a call in a put. Yes, correct. Well, those are cash secureds. Those are secureds, yeah. Yeah, the questions are flying a million. I'm trying to answer all these questions, but there's a lot of them. Right here, still pinned at R1, still watching. I'm lobster eyeing the chart, as always. Don't worry. Can you elaborate on Boeing? I get that they'll always be relevant because USB, blah, blah, blah. Well, Boeing is to the aviation industry that Ford is to the vehicle industry. Like, Boeing is not going anywhere. They're incredibly tied in with the military across all aspects. They're incredibly tied in with the commercial industry. Not defense sector, not only in planes, but a lot of other stuff as well. They're just not going anywhere. They're not. So, especially at these levels when they were 350 plus prior to Corona, and now we're down here just because of they're not going to let one airframe tank the company. Just not. No, I mean, obviously there's going to take a little bit to get back to normal, fully back to normal from after, the whole throes of being in a pandemic. But, you got to think long term. When I talk about long term trading, I'm not talking about a year. I'm talking about 20 years, 2 years, 20 years down the road, 30 years. So think about 1998 Amazon. Think about 2008 Bitcoin. Think about, 2012 Tesla. These are the stuff I'm talking about in terms of long term trading. Red candle, by the way, I'm watching. You're never going to get those big wins if you're not willing to hold 30 years. Never. Unless you have impeccable timing. But you don't. No one does. All right, VIX is holding 1850. And this red candle is right here at R1. Still right smack dab in the middle of the range. Stocks. I do stocks, MS Trader. I don't really play too much with leaps, long-term dated contracts like that. I'd rather just take stocks and. All right, here we go. Red candles. All right, so the Qs are popping through VWAP. SPY is still holding right here. Tesla. All right, a little red action across tech here. Nvidia's rounding over. XLV. Look at that. XLV has been straight falling since 9:36 Eastern. XLF is leveled out. VIX is popping. Q's rolling. So we're still in a tight range here. Still in a tight range. Didn't quite get down to the session range or S1. And we're wicking up there. VIX has got a red candle. We're below VWAP. I mean, in a short term, probably, but in the future, I don't. I think this world cannot function without air travel. You can't. We're not gonna go back to horse and buggy. We're not gonna go back to trains. So I mean, the future cannot, especially with as more the population grows over 10 years or so. You can't, we can't not rely on air travel. That's the thing. It's a necessity. It's a necessity. Is it possible to get VIX live? Yes. If you go into the indicators, or I'm sorry, not indicators. If you go into the tickers right here, VIX, make sure you're choosing TVC VIX. That's it's live. The other ones are delayed. That would be awesome, motion blur, if we could get that done. I know Elon's doing that. He actually did it one test tunnel, but yeah. All right, little red green candle right there. QQQ. QQQ is there, little bottom wick, XLF. I'm just adjusting my stops here, or my limits here. Watching. Little top wick right there. Right at the bottom of the range. XLF is green. XLV. All right, I'm going to take a call right here. I'm going to test a call out at $6. Let me post this. Just a small nibble, small position. Calls. I just entered some calls at $6. $6. That's the November 22nd, 47.20s. Small position though. QQQ's got a little green. Impeccable timing. I like it. You're good, vet. You're good. All right. Not much volume for sure. All right, November 22nd. Not obviously it's 22nd, not 12th, but yeah. There you go. Adjusted. There we go. All right, got a little movement here. Got a little movement. Nice, Chris. Well done. What made you take a nibbler here? I saw Qs, XLV, XLF all have green candles. We were at the bottom of the session range. We're right above S1. The volume started flipping green, so just jumped in. I wanted to get in at like 570, but it didn't quite get down there. Didn't quite get down there. So I took the 6. I know, Matt. I know. Trust me. All right. So we got a little green action here. A little bit of green, not much. So I'm playing of the scalp mentality. VIX is red. Nice little action here on Qs. Let's watch how it adjusts to VWAP. Made $5 off that scalp. Nice, Miguel. Yeah, one of the downsides of having a high-quality omnidirectional microphone is that y'all hear everything. So, XLK is green here. QQQ's trying to punch up through. VWAP now a little stronger on Qs. Just a little strong. I like to see it. I like to see it. I got 640 on these calls right now. 8% gain. 8.15% gain to be exact. So Qs are a little stronger. Tech's a little stronger right now. I'd assume because we've got some red here on the rest of the X's here. XLC is starting to climb up. That's 10%, Jimmy. I like it. Well done. All right, just looking here. QQQ, right here at VWAP. We've got some green candles. All right. I got a limit order in for a small portion of this position at 660. It's not filling yet. It keeps touching right here at 630, 640. And now we've got red candles. Same thing happened to me yesterday, so this gives me a little PTSD here. Yep, I did Po Jelly. All right, QQQ is green and climbing here. XLF here. V. XLV is still very heavy. Still very heavy. There we go. A little bit of a bottom wick. Like I said, I've got a limit order in for a small portion of this. That's 660. Let's see if I can get a fill on that. There it is. Just filled. Small portion. Good. So we secured 10% on a small portion. So now we've got a nice, healthy green action here. Nice, healthy green action as we're climbing back up. Good stuff. Right at VWAP, though. QQQ, climbing up. XLV and F here. So now I've got a little bit of profit booked, just a little. We've got 665, 680 on the ask. Things are climbing up. So now I've got a little bit of profit in the event that this position starts to go down. Yep, I bought some calls. I'm referring to SPY. Yeah, bedtime stories. So yeah, 437 people watching. I've already booked a little 10% here. 7%, nice. Good job, good job, good job. Took my 9%. These are currently up. The remainder of the position is currently at 670, which is 13.14%. We're coming up to test R1. I've got 685. I might take another nibble. It's 690. Here, I'm going to put another small order in for $7. Can I get? Here, let's try 710. Can I get 710? Here we go. Rejected off R1. Didn't get the 710 fill. Coming back up here. Nice healthy climb. Qs are nice. There we go. I got to fill off 710. Boom. I'm just legging out of this position. More at 710. There we go. Just made $72. Nice, D-Master. There you go. All right, so we're still popping up here just a little bit. So I've exited about 40% of this position, still holding about 60. I'm up 16% on the remainder of this position. I've got an entry at 660 as well as an exit at 660 as well as 710. These are currently sitting at $7, and we got some green action coming up through R1 here. QQQ is still climbing up, and now we're just going. Now here's the thing. The more you start legging out of a position, the more stress and risk you take off the table. Now you can start thinking with a clearer head. One of the reasons I like doing this. This is one of the reasons I like doing this. So now it's like every time I do that, a little bit of weight comes off the shoulders. A little bit of weight comes off the shoulders. And I can start playing with this stuff. Y'all are funny. Thanks, Lee Red. All right, now I've got 710 again, 720. I might take another position off here at 710. There's 720. I'm going to put a limit order in at 720. Let's paint a little tree over here at 720. Maybe 730. You know what? Let's try 730. Let's try 730. Well, hello there. All right, I've got a little order in here at 730. Thanks, Rick. Appreciate that. All right, didn't get the 730. QQQ is kind of topping here. Let's go 720. Can I get a 720? Oh, I got the 730 fill. Did I get the 7? Yep, I got the 730 fill. Sweet. All right, closing more at 730. I don't mean to be pinging y'all left and right, but and I'm exiting these in about 20% increments. About 20% increments. Well, thanks, Rox. I appreciate that. Yeah, I intend to keep it as low as I can for forever. You know, I think it's a win-win situation, Rox. So, thanks. Appreciate that. Alrighty. So a lot of greens holding right at R1. Maybe we can get a rally if we kind of hold this R1. So I've got roughly 45% of my position remaining, roughly. We're currently sitting at 710. I've got a $6 entry. I'm up 18% on the remainder. And now we're climbing up here. So yeah. Anyway, we got 436 people watching. Hit that like button for me. Let's grow. Let's learn. There's some green. All right, good deal. Nice, Roy's in the chat. 10% twice in the morning. Good stuff. Yep, I'm calling it. Yeah, so that $6 I'm calling out are the premiums for the contracts. So I want y'all to kind of get a base where I'm looking. Like right now, 760 on the November 22nd 4720s. So 760, 770. I'm up 28% on these now, and we're still climbing. So great money right now. We're doing really well. We're doing really well. Now coming up, trying to test up to R2. Now here's the thing. What technical indicator would have told you to buy at $6 where I bought? So that's why the OM session range is, which, you know, full credit to Veteran. That's not my indicator. He created that. But man, is it an awesome tool. You start tying in his session ranges with these R and S levels, that's all you need, man. VIX, RS levels, Veteran session ranges. Thank you. Well, let me write you up for some profit. That's all you need. So, not much, Rickman. It was a small position. It was a small position. Nice, Jeffin. Made 11%. All right, so I've got about 45% of my position rating. I'm going to put in an order for 780, see if I can nibble off some 780. So there's a limit order. I've got a limit order placed for 780, and I'm just going to kick back and see if it fills. There it is. Just got to fill for 780. Boom, done. So now I've got about 20% of my position remaining. And I'm just climbing up. I'm just climbing up. Keep it simple. That's right, Steven. Keep it simple. Now we've got some more green. Now we've got some more green. And I'm trying to talk through this position as much as I can. As much as I can. All right, so here, now we got $8. I've got 20. So my next exit will be the closeout of my entire position. So I'm up 31% now on the remainder. I've got $8 on the ask. I've got 780 on the bid. And I'll be putting in the remainder of my position here shortly, probably pretty soon, as SPX is starting to climb up again to kind of no man's land where it keeps rejecting 4706. But we're still climbing up here. You know, and here's the thought. You know, the conversation going on YouTube now. It's like, what would showing you if I'm trading with 200 grand or 10 grand? How would that help you right now? Like, what would that benefit you from what else you're getting right now? Like, that's my question to you. All right, red candle. So I'm going to go ahead and exit the rest of this position. Coming on down to R1. It does, right here. It's updating. Y'all not hear me? You good? So yeah. Just letting this thing hold. Maybe we can get a bounce off R1. I've got the remainder of this position holding. I've at 710. I've got a $8. I was looking at putting an $8 fill. Obviously didn't get it, but we're still holding here. Can you explain why you wouldn't scalp a trade put here? Because we're still above R1. We're not quite to the top of the session range yet. I don't want to take a trade in the middle of a range. We're not to an indicated level where the high probability reversal is there. So I wouldn't want to take a put here. So we're above a support. We're in the middle of a range. We're in the middle of Veterans range as well as my two levels. So here it's a high risk to take a put here. So I do. Yeah, I've got consumer services. I've got all the X sectors, all 11 on there. Nice, Allie. Well done. Well done. So watching here, the VIX is level out flat here. QQQ has got some red. So healthcare is getting smoked. Absolutely getting smoked. I'm going to check out Johnson & Johnson. Very good indicator for them. Yeah, Johnson & Johnson's down. Not all that heavily, though. But all right, so I'm going to use R1 as an indication to close the remainder of these calls. Yeah, so we're starting to break down here. Right on R1, and I'm going to close them. Oh, what are we doing? Faking me out here. What are we doing? What are we doing? I got 670 right now. All right, I'm going to keep holding them. We get a bounce off R1. Yeah, yep. So now we've got a little bounce right off R1. And that's cool with me. Let's see if we can get up to R2. Curious where this is going to go, because we've got this thing is flipping right on R1, right on it. Smack dab in the middle of the range. Flipping back and forth, red, green, red, green. Now we got a little green here. That's right, Destiny. It is very common to do this kind of movement. That's why it's so important to identify key levels on which you can anticipate with a relatively high margin of confidence that it's going to reverse at particular levels. One of the common things around retail traders, newer traders, is that when they start approaching or they take a position or they take a put and it immediately bounces, or they take a call and immediately rejects and goes down, and they think, man, I bought a put right at the bottom or I bought a call right at the top, and it's because they just don't know that they're buying at a resistance or they're buying a put right at a support, and unfortunately they just don't know. So it does look paranormal. It does look like the market's out to get them, when in reality it's just they don't know that there's a big support right there. So these levels help you identify those particular points in time where you can start removing those type of trades. It's like that book. I've talked about this before. The book, The Big Miss. It's a golfing book. It's written by Hank Haney about Tiger Woods. And one of Tiger Woods' big thing was to tailor his game about removing the big miss. The professional golfer, because they're all professionals, and when all those golfers are on their game, when they're 100%, they're unbelievable. Every one of them, even the worst golfer. The golfer that wins the tournament is the golfer that removes the big misses out of their game for that particular 4-day round, for that 4-day tournament. So it's the same way with trading. If you can remove the big misses, the stupid mistakes, the little losses that you don't understand, then you can start to become more profitable. What do I think about Boeing? Love it. We talked about that earlier. I don't want to go too deep into that again, but yeah, I love it. All right, so nice healthy green candle off of R1 followed by a red, and we're just chopping right on R1 here. I've got about $697 on the bid, 20% position remaining at a 14% profit. So just good stuff. I'm a mini tour pro. I can attest to that. Oh, nice. Cool stuff. What an awesome job. All right. Starting to break down here. I'm going to go ahead and close that. Let's put in, I'm going to put a 660 bid here. Limit, that was 670, or I'm going to hit 670. Entered. 670 limit entered. See if I can get that. Still falling. QQQ is green. Don't like it. 620 bid. I'll put in a 620. All right, I got that. Out of that position. 630. I get, nope. Yep, 630. So 630 fill, and I'm out of that position. Out the rest, 630. Cool. Good trade. Good soup. Good soup. Out. All right, these levels are exactly what I've been missing. Yeah, you're very welcome, Jody. Thank you. Thank you. There's a nice big red flush. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. Thanks, Kid Cobra. All right, so there's a nice healthy red candle coming on down right through R1. So that's a great little scalp. And guess what? If we come down to the bottom of the range, I'll look at doing it again. Look at doing it again. Thanks, Jay. Nice little 10%. Oh, nice. We played some 10% on some puts. Well done. Well done. So yeah, we've got 2 or 3 T-shirts in the works. By the way, they're going to be non-branded, non-OM branded stuff, but they're going to be stuff like cool trading sayings that we talk about that are unique to our community. So be on the lookout for that. They're going to be limited quantities, just to see if y'all like those. Yeah, so if you want to be on the lookout, theoptionsmillionaire.com is our merch store. Right now, we only have stickers and hoodies on there. Great turnout for the hoodie so far. I got a lot of good feedback. In fact, a lot of people are already starting to get theirs in the mail. And there's going to be a lot of other stuff, so be on the lookout for that. theoptionsmillionaire.com. See what you like, and be on the lookout. Oh, thanks, Destiny. Appreciate that. Appreciate your feedback and coming around. Play the break T-shirt. Like it. Like it. Have I considered bumper stickers? I thought bumper stickers were only reserved for political statements. I don't know. Most of my political, opinions I get down here are based off bumper stickers. I'm like, oh man, look at that bumper sticker. I agree with that dude. Heck yeah, brother. Jeez Louise. I always laugh when I see people put political bumper stickers on. It's funny. Anyway, look at that green candle right up. So, I trade futures in the pre-market, but yeah. Will you make some long sleeves? Yeah, I will. Yeah. Shaking and baking. How do you get your support and resistance? I formulate those based on a lot of different things. Price action, volume, gamma, open interest. And they all tie together to make these levels. So. Oh yeah, for sure, Emily. Yeah. It is 9:56 Central Time. I'm going to stay on here a little bit more because we do have it is chop, but it's not too tight, so things are working out pretty well. Have I considered running for elected office? Not at all. That sounds absolutely atrocious to me, Chris. I'm not gonna. No. If anybody, it would be my wife. My wife is very high up in the community. She's in healthcare. She runs 3 different ERs. She's awesome, and she's very very personable. Not to mention she's pretty easy on the eyes. Love you, babe. So yeah, she would be a great candidate for mayor, but not me. Not me. Thanks, Destiny. Yeah, stick around or stop by on Monday. Like to have you back. Which break, Brian? About to fall 70 points. Although I'm Nomad Trader, I do think you're going to be correct here in the next week or so. I'd be hard pressed to think we fall today, but I do think next week would potential for that kind of a move. Yep. Will we ever get a face reveal? Yes, just not yet. Thanks, hold my beer. Appreciate that. Well, thank you. Thank you. What's up, Shepard? What were your losses on? Hey, I took some losses yesterday too, so I feel you. But what'd you lose on? From Texas. I've spent a lot of time in Texas, but I don't live in Texas. Some people already know. I'm sure the people that I got my packages, they know what state I'm in. No, not at all, Phil. Nobody wants to see that. I promise you. That's true. Yeah. It looks like it, Brian, or at least SPX. It looks like it. Hey, when we do our first OM conference, I am going to punk y'all. So I am a jokester, so be on the lookout. Cosmic, I do offer merch internationally. However, just be fair warning, shipping is outrageous. So you're more than welcome to, but I tried to ship. I can choose shipping rates and stuff like that, or who I use, and I tried to go with the cheapest one, but it is still quite high. So just be aware of that. Yeah, eventually there will be a OM conference. Yeah. Yeah, let's take a look. Microsoft is flat, a little up and down here. Apple still high. Amazon, flat. Google, Nvidia, and Tesla. That's right, Jim. That's right. I don't, Wilson. I would anticipate it'll be mid 2022. I've never planned a conference before, so obviously I'll have to, build that far in advance. So I can do that. I think right now the front runner is Vegas, just because Canadians can fly into Vegas relatively cheap, from what I hear. No, I'm not American. I'm completely out of that call. Completely out. I'm printing the T-shirts locally. I have a local source that I use. He actually does all the CrossFit gyms in the area, including a very high-level CrossFitter that, if you're in CrossFit, you very well know his name. He does all his stuff. So, can you give a brief rundown on how heavy call option buying on high? Yeah. So, well, that's a great question. That's a long conversation, Johnny. I'll try to be as brief as possible. But we're in these times with this in the major liquidity injection of the market, that the options flow is starting to that the options flow is starting to adjust the derivative, the equities. So instead of being a derivative, it's actually kind of flipping the tail on its head. So when you have this great deal of open interest at this particular level, it creates in sorts of a resistance, where when you start to come up there, you start to hit that resistance, especially when there's a great deal of calls and puts both at the same time. All right, I am going to give this a few more minutes here. If we could hopefully get some volatility, but if not, I'll pop off. But if not, I'll stay on here. Would I play off the top of the range? Potentially, because that top of the range actually does correlate with R2, which is the upper bound of the resistance. So I will consider taking puts if we come up and touch R2. A little more risky play, though, because right now, as it stands, there's more upward Momo than there is downward Momo. So it's a riskier play because there's a potential for a breakout upwards. So I'll be looking for a little more confirmation than the call I took off at the bottom of the range. Can you discuss using these levels to judge how long to hold when you're down? Give it time to recover. Well, it's a great question. So, for example, I was reading something. So for example, if you are in calls right here, say you're already in calls and the price is dropping, I would be hesitant to close those calls because I know right now we're about to have a bounce, that type of thing. When you have these levels plotted, it's not just like holding onto your seat and hoping that things start to bounce up. It's you're looking at a point in space which you can start planning on a reversal. So here, if I take a call for some reason, it comes down. Oh, well, I know there's a high probability of a bounce here. I'm going to elect to hold those calls. Whereas if I didn't have that, if it was just all blank space, like this, for example, there's no point of reference here. So it's this point in times you can start identifying when and where to exit or enter a call or a position. Would you like to offer pop socket with your logo? I don't know what that is. I apologize. I'm not a tech savvy guy. I don't know what that is. First year option trading. How much different is this year from previous 5 years? Wilson, great question. The past 2 years have been incredibly volatile in liquid. You don't get this type of upward mobility normally. Yes, we do go through bull markets. We go through bear markets, but having this relentless bull market where it's nonstop for a year and a half now is ridiculous. And it kind of equates back to the 98.com. And everyone says it's different. It's different. It's not different. We have different circumstances. We have unprecedented circumstances, but the market itself is not different. And eventually we're going to come back down. It's not going to go up forever, but it is very different because, unfortunately it has rewarded the relentless buy the dip people. And it's great. I love that people are making money buying the dips, but unfortunately it's kind of created a habit that people don't really know why. They just buy every red they can find. And eventually it's going to smoke everybody. When this actually does pop, and the music stops and it's time to get off the carousel, a lot of retail traders are going to get destroyed because they've kind of built this habit of just buying the dip, and they don't know why. VIX is falling through the bottom of the range here. Actually, didn't we fix this? Didn't we fix the range problem with the VIX? Kind of adjusting late. Nice big green candles there. Look at that. Right off R1. Nice, Justin. You're in calls. You're welcome, Jody. You're welcome. Ah, Miguel. Okay. All right. Yeah, I probably wouldn't do stuff like that. I don't know. The reason why I'm doing merch because I love shirts. Like I'm the type of guy that I love. Like when I was in CrossFit a lot, like I like buying the shirts like that. So, I like to invest in stuff I'm passionate about. And if I could create some cool shirts for you all that I would like to see, then so be it. They would be cool. They would be cool. R2 will be tough to break, Uncle Put. Yeah, with R3 being pretty much the line in the sand. R3 is the highest level of gamma. R2 is where the open interest is. Yep, I did, Zigzag. I did. Glad you showed the VIX and the SPY. Really puts in perspective. Yeah, I haven't normally done that, but I want to start doing this so you can kind of see the VIX correlate. Yeah, dude, it's right here. Session range is right here. The yellow dots. If you're watching the YouTube. I use, known to be no one, I use Spot Gamma. Spot Gamma. Which, for those anyway who are interested in signing up for Spot Gamma, I've got a 50% off code for good only for the month of November. So when you sign up, your first month of Spot Gamma will be 50% off. So let me know if you want that. Ping me in the Discord and I'll send that to you. Am I using TradingView for charts? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm on the Pro Plus, which also I also have a referral code. Will get you some money off your subscription, not prescription. Or actually, it is a prescription. It'll cure you of losing. Are you using TradingView for charts? Yeah. So let me know. I'll get you that code. What's my percentage on the day? I need to calculate the overall here. Actually, do it now because I legged out of that position. All right. Oh, thanks, little Straddle. Appreciate that. All right, so right under R2 here. That was about a 16% overall game on that. Yeah, see, the highest gamma level is R3. That's going to be the big gamma calculated level. R2 is going to be associated with open interest. So there are two high resistance levels above us. Apple's still going strong. Continuation of yesterday. Amazon's climbing. Facebook, Google. All flat here. SPY is right up here. Top of the range break, I'll be looking at entering some new calls. Chris, that's the session range. Session ranges. Yeah, I personally don't see how I would be an effective trader without a tool like TradingView. It's just the trading, the tools that have available there are just too good. They're too good. Yeah, what's your Discord name? Is this still the same one? Let me see. Okay. All right, try it now. Try it now. No one to be no one. Yep. So for me, Uncle Put, like that's a high correlation for me. I love it when one of my levels correlates with veteran session range. Here's the TradingView link right there. If you want to sign up for TradingView. All right, puts off of R1. I'm sorry, R2. I guess you mean R2. Potentially, yes. However, I want to play with a lot more caution playing puts than calls because the overall momentum is upwards, especially with the VIX falling. I don't want to take puts here and it just blasts right on through. However, in order to circumnavigate that, you have to look at volume and you have to look at price action to make sure that we're actually breaking through or we're going to reject. The problem is that usually when it rejects, it does it like this, and you have to be very quick getting in puts. So you actually probably have to front run that. In order to front run that, you have to take on some risk and the potential for taking a loss. Because if you do front run it and it continues on upwards, obviously your puts are going to lose. Thanks, known to be no one. Appreciate that. How does a bear market feel like? It's not fun. 2018 was the last bear market. If you want to go back and look at that chart, I don't want to go there yet because I do think we're about to make a move. So. Because a bear market is usually more flat than it is down. That's what I'm saying. It's not always down, down, down like you think. Which there are days of redness, which is great. But for the most part, a bear market is flat, and the VIX is very low. 10, 8, 12. Nobody wins. Theta doesn't win, or long doesn't win. So that's what I mean by that. Exactly. Hold my beer. Yep. Where's the chat room for Discord Patreon members? The text chat is trading room. If you go to the left, you'll see trading room. The voice chat, if you go down, you'll see Patreon stage, which is in the bottom left, all the way down at the bottom under voice channels. So right now, I'm still going to stick with the 4720 calls. And for the puts, I'll look at 4695, 4695, which is what I have posted. So actually, I have the 47. Let's do 4720. There you go. Not in the afternoon. I do think there's going to be action in the afternoon right now, obviously. There's a decent action here. It's not like we're trading in a 20-cent range. There's some decent action here. You can make a little money scalping. You just have to be on your game. But I think we're going to have more action coming in the afternoon. Oh, my new helmet's coming in today. Nice. Just got a shipping notification. What do we type in for the voice channel? You can't, unfortunately. You have to go very bottom left. And I can't link you to it. That's one of the Discord things. I can't link it. So if you go all the way down to the bottom left of the channels, you'll see voice channels all the way at the bottom. All right, we got some green action here coming up to R2. I'll be looking at it. Now, if we break above, we'll play it. If we break down, I'll play that too. Right now, the volume is still down. Nice, healthy green candle forming, though. Y'all are funny. Daniel, what was that? I think, especially maybe in the government, there's federal shutdowns and then data. I think it was just bad data. All data-driven stuff. Weak numbers. November 22nd. That's what I'm playing today. November 22nd. Man, there's some good stuff being posted in the food channel. Delicious. All right, look at this. Big green candles. Watch the calls. I got my calls up here. I'm actually going to say I'm going to switch to the 47.25s because that moved up. I'm going to pop up to the 47.25s. But watch this R2. I'm gonna keep calls up and ready to go because if we blast through this, we're going to go, and then I'll switch to puts if we reject. But right now I've got calls up here because I'm wanting to see if we could just blast through this. November 22nd. That's what I'm looking at. XLF has been on a steady increase. XLV down, XLK, and SPY. Red candle's getting wicked. Let's look it over here. All right, for SPY. Yeah, I do 472s November 22nd. Plenty of volume. Deltas are 28. Deltas are a little low there. That's fine. 472s, 469s. That's what I would do. All right, let's watch this level right here. VIX is down there. Yeah, so interesting action here. With the VIX decreasing here, SPY is right up here at R2. Do we get the pivot off this level for VIX and come back down, or do we finally punch it through? And that's what we're looking for. Yep, I'm feeling you, Sandy. Sandy sounds like he was a JTAC. Thanks, veteran. We rocked it. Thanks for the levels. Yep, volume's still low right here, but yeah. Oh, okay. Nice. If I take calls, R3 is quite strong, but there's not much room to play. Exactly. Yeah. So that's why I want a lot of volume to push us up there, which obviously we didn't get, which is obviously why we were rejecting. So just bounding along. R2, R1, R2, R1. Is that a Needler PC Haymaker? Looks like a Needler from Halo. Wow. When using the free built-in volume indicator in TradingView, what should be the MA length and settings for the 515? Should be the MA length. I mean, for the simple moving average, I set a 50 or a 200. for the observations. It all depends on if the 200 is for very long-term trading, or the 50 is for if I want to look at enter for swing positions. Haven't played it yet. If you could see 5 minutes into the future, you would be the best trader in the world. Just even 2 minutes, even 60 seconds. If you could see 60 seconds into the future, you'd be the best trader in the world. Oh, nice. Y'all killing it today. Love it. Love it. I'm going to give this a few more potatoes here, and we'll see if we can, I'll hop off here, take care of a few things, and then look for an afternoon sesh. All right. This is one of those days that although it's choppy, it's still nice to play because things are being respected. It's not just random chop where it's getting reversed left and right. It's actually working out pretty well. Not too much going on so far. Not too much going on. All right, just looking through here. All right, 1 year chart. I think somebody asked me about the 1 year. Here, I'm going to zoom out to the single chart just for now. On the 1 year, this is what we look like. Crazy bull run, as you can see. The most aggressive bull run we've had since Corona. The only one that's really tested it was here in March. I remember this. This was crazy. Gap up city, green, green, green. On the races. Had this big downward action here in September. And here we are. The volume has been sustained. Sellers and buyers are both coming in here. This is what I talked about. When I talked about, I posted that chart yesterday in OM Notes about overall market thesis where you can kind of see these lines. Here, let's see there. These are the harder times to play. Where these purple lines are. These are the hard times to play. And these are the easy times to play. That's not what I wanted. I wanted the trend line. Yep. So this is the easy stuff to play. And the flat lines are the hard stuff to play. Because here you've got an identifiable trend. Momentum is upwards, bullish, good to go. And the flat stuff is where you're in that transition period, the consolidation periods, where people are bullish, people are bearish, you don't know really what's going on. There's buying volume, there's selling volume, things are going back and forth, and you have to anticipate what's going on. So a lot of people get chopped up right here. And then here is where you make your big money. Wait for the breaks, even on the 1 year chart. Oh, you could put TA on the VIX. You just can't put volume analysis on the VIX. That's the thing because there's no volume. But yeah, you can do T on the VIX. Justin's inputs. Aggressive play. There's got a big green candle on the Qs here. Careful, careful. SPY is hammering up. I'm in no position. I'm sitting on my hands, my manos. Now, the longer we sit up here and cling to this level, I'll be watching for that big spike in green volume. If I see a big green candle down here, I'm going to be looking for the commensurate move. Bam. And let's see if we can go. Crandall. Alrighty. Just moving, just waiting. We've got this little consolidation just rejecting R2, R2, R2. Before I started your channel, I have a constant 10% loss in portfolio. Now I finally stopped it. Thanks, Jeff. I'm glad you're learning something. It's always a great feeling. All right, watch this breakout right here. We got that little gap up. Careful. I've got 655, 660 on the bids. 47.25 calls. This could be it. Oh, big ups here in Qs. Right here. It actually wouldn't be a bad idea for a straddle, Chris. Play the break. Why would I consider puts an aggressive move here? Because the momentum is upwards. Although we are rejecting R2, the overall momentum is upwards, and if we break that, it's going to fly. So it's just a more aggressive play. There's more upward momentum than there's downward momentum. Still holding, still holding. Rejecting R2 in the session range, both of them. I like it. The longer we hold R2 without breaking, yeah, those sell orders are going to get eaten up, and I think we're going to go. If you want to have hopes for just another rejection, we're going to have a sell here soon. Otherwise, I think we're going to break higher. So, nice JB10. Yeah, a long straddle here is a good idea. Just be sure you know how to manage that leg. Now, XLF is still climbing. Now, XLV, for example, that's a smoke show. Healthcare is getting destroyed. XLY is rounding over. XLI is kind of climbing. There's more bullish than bearish in the X's, but there are some that are starting to round over. All right, red candles. I don't see XLF trending down. I see XLY rounding over a little bit, but I still see XLF going up. XLY is rounding over. XLI is flat. Either way, there's not too much movement across the board here. We're still consolidating right here. A lot of wicks, a lot of breaks. Red candles right here. What conditions did I look for to enter a straddle? For me, it's when you want to break, but I don't know which direction. Here would be a good time for it because there's a good chance we could break up, and there's obviously a good chance we'll fall down. We're at the top of a range. We're going to get movement either way. I don't anticipate chopping here for the rest of the afternoon because we are a tight range here. We're either going to move downward to this or we're going to move upward beyond R3. So it's a great time for a long straddle. And like I said, there's two different ways to play that. You can let that thing run out and close the straddle for just a whole thing, or you can actually manage the legs and close one out and use it as a to be able to front run the position. You can take a straddle, not knowing where it's going to go, and just close the losing leg. Would you view those two R2 tests as a double top or too small of a time frame? Yeah, I would say that's enough of a flow down and upwards to call that a double top. I mean, that's 15 minutes. So yeah, speaking of 15-minute, let's go to the 15-minute chart. Look at that. Wick up there right at R2 on the 15-minute chart. I do, Wilson. I post them before 9 o'clock Eastern Time every morning. I posted on Twitter today right at 9. I actually posted today at like 6:30 in the morning, but I posted on Twitter at 9 o'clock in the morning. All right, red candles on the 15. We are closing higher and higher. This is that test of the R2, which I'm thinking we're going to keep on going, so just be aware. Oh, you did? Oh, okay. I got 620 on the mid contracts here for the 47.25s. What's up, America? I broadcast. I usually do the same. The mornings it's about the same as this. It's about till 10 or 11 o'clock, and then I'll come back on in the afternoon if there's some volatility. You can do straddles with the cash account. All it is buying and selling, or buying, putting a call. All right, here we go. Here's that break. QQQ is rolling, or not rolling, but climbing. Man, that thing's went to 660 already. So watch it right here. Qs are starting to climb. XLF. Now it's rounding over. XLV rounding over. XLY is being bought up. XLK is going. XLSPY. I've got 650 on the bids. QQQ. This is this level where we're going to determine. Exactly. Yep. It's a fantastic point. That straddles and strangles sound great because you think you can't lose, but you very well can lose if you don't know how to manage the position. We keep getting that top wick. VIX, watch, VIX is now below pivots, so keep an eye on the VIX. We're now below the pivot. Next one will be down here, 1726. As the Qs are trying to climb, SPY. It's tempting to jump into a call right here. I'm actually almost there. Nice carry. Hey, what's up, Ivy? What's going on? Red candles right there. All right, so the volatility is starting to kick in. Look at these candles jumping around. I think I might buy this red candle here. Right here. We've got 620. Might nibble in. VIX is starting to form a little green there. QQQ. We've got this upward trending. It looks like it's going to launch. That's the thing. And now that we're testing this level, we're not come off of it. I remember back in July when I had that big 60% win, we keep testing the upper bounds, and this is exactly what it looked like. It's kind of had this upward little bullish look, and then it launched. And I remember that look. What's up, Tristan? Thank you. All right, I nibbled in some right there at 630 because I do think we're going to come on higher. Boom, boom. X right there. Dang, E-Trade. All right, there we go. Let me get this posted. All right, in. There we go. A lot of bottom wicks here. This is what we're doing. The November 22nd, 47.25 calls, 6:30 fill. And now we're bouncing off this R2. It has that look like it's going to go, especially with the momentum of QQQ. SPY is right on top of R2 here. We have this little green candle right there. XLY is climbing up here. XLF is starting to round up XLV. It's got a little red-green candle there. So everything is starting to trend upwards slightly. And right now we're just testing the top of this range. By nibbling, I'm taking a pre-confirmation move as winnings. I'm not, like right now it looks great. It's holding this R2 line, but there's still a chance it could fall. That's why I'm not taking a big position. I'm just kind of nibbling in here. And this is one of those positions, if it starts to see a better entry, then we'll take a better entry. But There's plenty of support so far because all the reds are getting bought up. The VIX is now below pivot. And this is what I'm watching right here. So this level. It's now 10:44, 11:44 Central. Eastern time, I mean. Look at all these bottom wicks, man. It's just like kind of doing this thing. Check on the 15-minute chart. Right now, the 15-minute chart looks bullish. We've got this doji right here on the 15, now ascending through R2 on the 15. The 15 looks bullish. The 5 minutes got these wicks. 3 minute here. Nice, Rhonda. Look at the VIX. VIX is still falling. And XLV is getting roasted. Roasted. Little red action here. Little red action. And just waiting. What's up, No Kung Fu? How's it going? We're right up against this level. The candles are starting to move a little more aggressively than they have been the past hour or so. Just kind of, they're fluctuating quickly on the 3-minute chart. They're flipping out, wicking out, red, green, red, green. 5-minute chart is flipping green and now climbing ever so slightly. All right, there's a little green. Let's watch this. Testing this level like crazy, man. It's been bouncing off here a bunch. XLF, 3 green in a row. What are the bonds doing? Bonds are still up elevated. If we do get an aggressive move like we had that one Friday, something like this, I'll look at legging into more. Yep. I would much rather average up than I would average down. Man, it's holding this level. I'll give this a few more minutes and I'll exit this call because I don't want to hang on to too much risk, especially with this strong level. I'm gonna put money on the table to see if I can get the move made. But yeah. Yeah. What's the AM and PM in the pre-market analysis? That's the session ranges, which is the blue or now the yellow dots in the afternoon will be blue dots, but it's the morning and afternoon session ranges. Man, XLV getting roasted. Healthcare. Yeah, right at this 4,700 level on SPX, there's a massive open interest, calls and puts. It's just we've been bouncing off of it for 11 days now. Every time we come up here, it's just pam, 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 until we. Is he saying pow? Until we fall. So, right now I'm using the 3-minute chart. XLY's got a red. And here we go. Let's see. Look at the VIX though. VIX is falling. Right here. But the SPY is not climbing. It's just pivoting. It's pinning right here. So there's QQQ. SPY's got this red. Red increasing. QQQ is there. Real estate's coming down heavy. So red across the board on across all time frames there. And red candle off R2. Yeah, definitely. For sure. I'm sure some of that weakness there in XLV is contributing to it as well. Yeah. Red candle right there. Flushed it. Not ready for the breakout yet. Green on the Qs. Coming on down. There's green on the QQQ, and this candle's got some wicks on it. All right, starting to get a little shaky here. Starting to get a little shaky. All right, I'm about to cut this out. I'm going to give this another candle or so to see if we're going to get a come back to R2, and then I'm going to close it out. Just let it do its thing. QQQ is still holding up. It's got these bottom wicks. Tech is still holding on. You know, just a little bit of red here. XLK is green. And SPY is just got some bottom wicks right under R2. Hey, look at that candle. Just flip green. So Q just went double green. Interesting bond action. It's just driving up too. All right, so now I have that green bought up there. We've got this red forming. VIX has got some red basing here. We've got the bond starting to climb up here. QQQ just went red to green. I'm not liking this position all that much. And yeah, so let's see here. And 469.88. Aren't they, Louise? Yeah, good stuff. All right. So, we've got this little bit of chop right here through R2 and right in the middle of the range. It's actually a good point, Carrie. It's actually a good point. Apple's still doing its thing. So tech is still strong here. Microsoft is just flat here. Amazon's testing the top of their range. Everything else is pretty much flat. Nvidia's got a little bit of a pop there. VIX is back on the downtrend. QQQ's got some red. So this 4,700 level on SPX is, we've popped above it now, and we're holding this level. I'm letting this thing shake out. I'm letting this thing breathe. You can't close the position every time it just goes red. Have to be a little more analytical of that. Look at VIX. VIX is dropping hard here. Alrighty. Green out some Qs. XLF is finally trending back upwards. And it's almost lunchtime. Yesterday was the nuttiest of the charts, man. Like I had calls and they went down. I think if I would have held on to them, they would have been like 60 or 70% at one point, and then they end up being like I could have sold them for like a 30% profit with that crazy V recovery. Just nutty. So yeah, obviously I never would have done that. That'd have been irresponsible, but it is fun to look at. All right, so let's see if we can come up here and test R2 once again. Look at the VIX. The VIX is still popping through. So it still, to me, sets up what we could blast on through. VIX is dropping heavily. SPY is fighting this level, this support of 4,700 on SPX. and we're trending right back up to R2. So look at the VIX, still falling. Qs are still rounding up here, just waiting. Everything else is still trending in the right direction for now. And we're just going to monitor conditions here. All the X's, all the top 5 are trending upwards. XLRE is still down. It all depends. All depends. Sometimes I play larger positions, sometimes I play shorter positions. Or smaller positions, not shorter, but smaller positions. When creating your levels, do you look at open interest? I look at current expirations and future expirations for open interest. VIX is still falling. Look at that. Coming down to the first pivot, 1730. $15-minute chart. Have a green for me. VIX is still falling hard. I think if we're going to do it, we might do it here shortly. It's coming up on 11 o'clock time frame. VIX is falling. We're testing again under a healthy candle. Let's see if we can do it. Good observation, Louise. They are sorted in weight. So the top weight is XLK, the lowest weight is XLU, and I have them greatest to least. Testing R2 once again. Yeah, at least, yeah. I always post them like that. You know, everything. My entire watch list is very intentional. I don't want stuff in there just in there. I want it have a rhyme or a reason. Like even the top 8 right here, they're listed greatest to least. These are listed greatest to least. Down here, I've got the most used things up here. I got the VIX, and I've got the futures stuff, and I've got the rates at the bottom. VIX is still falling. Man. A little pushing and pulling here. Tug of war. almost pulled my microphone out. All right, so we're still holding right under R2. The positions are being eaten because right now is about where my enter point was, and we're still pretty low. I still got, what, 540 on these things? 560 now, so. Yeah, Ben, I'll be looking to the afternoon. Looking to the afternoon for a little more volatility. How to get the split screen? If you go up to the top of TradingView, you can click on this little box right here, and you can select which one. You get 1, 2, you got all these options. You're going to do like 16. All right, a little bit of move here. We need to pop R2. Gotta pop it. Uh-oh. 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 What are we going to do? If you want to wait for a little more confirmation than what I did, I would take calls on the breakout of the range. I did front run this a little bit, more so than I usually do, but I would take calls above on a confident breakout of the range. Ooh, smacked. There's XLF. XLV is rounding up finally, so we got that big down heavy action in XLV. Maybe this is a catalyst to send us higher because healthcare has been weighing us down. Maybe we'll get some Momo in healthcare. We'll see. We'll see. Holding R2 right now. Right, that increase in buying right there. Look at that increase in buying here. Let's see if we can get a 1 or 2 confirmation candles to flip us up. We need to start breaking through this resistance and churning, and we need to churn. We got this we got this hammer right here. We need to get the churn. XLV finally playing ball. If we do break upwards here, I would look for R3. I probably wouldn't test R3 with my position. I'll probably scalp this in between there. R3 is very difficult. So if we can finally get through R2 here, then I'll be looking at R3. Before R3, actually. I'm not going to risk getting a rejection off R3. Same exact level again. Almost down to the cent, whacked. Red on the keys. XLF starting to trend upwards. XLV. Yeah. R3 is up here at 470.64. I'm doing November 22nd calls. All right, there's a green. There's a green. I'm going to put a temporary horizontal line just for my visual aid right there. We need to break those levels right there. All right, here we go. Can we break it? Can we go? There it is. There it is. Get it. Come on. There it is. Are we going? Are we going? Are we going? I think we're going. All right, let's wait for confirmation here. Don't get euphoric. Wait for confirmation. We got a nice green candle here. Healthy. We finally get the breakout. QQQ is bopping up here. XLF is finally going. XLV is finally starting to play ball. We have a nice healthy candle under volume. So this is that confirmation I'm looking for. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Great, 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 great. All right, staying true to my word, I'm going to nibble some off here. Just because we are approaching that. And coming up. Boom. Nice, Joe. Thank you. Appreciate that. Great commentary, though, by the way, Carrie. Good stuff. So, yeah. Still holding. Oh, man, I didn't even know you were in a call. Nice. Now, that was a pretty volume breakout. I mean, I'm happy with that. Now the only question is, can it hold? Can it hold? Good job, Alan. Well done. Well done. All right. So QQQ here. Now it's starting to play ball here. Maybe we can get there. XLV, XLF. XLF is nice and uptrendy. VIX is way down here. I just flipped it. Hold on. I don't want to do that. Red candle's got a little bottom wick. Now, I want this green. Now, this follow-on candle is very important. I'd love to see this candle continue on. I want some continuation here. I don't want to see a reversal back down to the range. With that kind of volume, with that kind of green, I want it continued to come up to R3. I've got a nibble at 720. We're still holding 720 now. Tempted to throw in a 730 limit. Let's take a look at the volume. The volume is still there. I still have some decent buying volume here. I'm looking around. Qs are now look, the Qs are starting to come on board. Let's see if tech can bring us higher. Somebody turn on some Scott Stepp. I've got 740, 730 on the bid ask. It's fluctuating. Nice, Alan. Good job. Good job. Can you take me higher? There it is. There's that follow on. Let's go higher. Let's go higher. A little bit of red, a little bit of red. Nibble a little bit at 690. Let's see. $7. Can I get to 7? Still moving. All right, I nibbled a little bit there at $7. All right, dumped yours at 7. Nice. Yeah, so we've got as long as that bottom wick is holding for now, I'm just going to do the same strategy as the first one. Just kind of nibble out of here. Just kind of nibble out of here. Now I've got a little bit more on. I've still got some risk on the table to see if we can fly off R3. There's some red. VIX is still holding that level. Here's that. Okay. Little bottom wick. John Wick. Alrighty. XLF is still green, trading dead flat. Look at that. Dead flat. Yep, me too, me too. Just need some follow-on activity, but we're not getting it. Qs right now, tech is flushing. SPY is almost giving all this candle back. I use 3 minute. 3 minute. Nice, Justin. All right, I'm out of this. Gave it all back. Right back down to levels. Look at that. I was able to secure some good money, though. I'll take it. Good stuff. All right, so So interesting big buy up there on that volume. Immediately sold off. Rejections still continue here. And we'll be waiting. So just under R3, I took play up here because I knew that there was going to be some stuff here. And it came right on back down. I got in calls just a minute or two before you, and I cut them when they went red at 10:53. It flipped green. You just weren't patient enough. There are times to let a call breathe and take, weather some red in your portfolio, and there's times to cut it loose. And that was one of those times I elected to just let it breathe. I went down. I think 8% was the biggest it was red, and it came back up for a 14% win. So I think you just weren't patient enough. Holding R2 though. Well, not R2. This is a temporary level I posted right there. I'm going to take that out. It's confusing. Oh, nice, Tristan. Thanks. Exactly. Great point, Louise. It's all about position sizing. If you're holding a very extended position size, you're going to be freaking out there. So. Nice, Mike. Well done. Oh, you're welcome, Harp. Thanks for being here. Still am, Mike. Still am. Yeah, so we've popped through that strong level. We're now holding this level, 47.15. We got 47.25 as a big call wall. Right now, we're just kind of trending upwards here above this resistance. So I would say there's a decent probability we continue on higher. I can always re-enter a position. Those are just my custom RS levels. I use the horizontal line drawer with TradingView, and I just plug in my calculated levels right here. Oh, nice, Mike. I feel you. It's been a great time. I can always re-enter a trade as well. That's why I want to go ahead and close that out. Oh, nice, Jody. Winter Shadow. It's funny. You sound like a pilot. Yep, I am a pilot. I can fly. I'm a pilot. I can't believe I traded all this time without knowing who Veteran was. So. Oh, okay. Yeah, I spent a lot of time down there, Mike. Dental Tech. Okay. Me and Vet linked up the same way that you linked up with me. I think Reddit was one of the first people in here from Reddit. Stress, Khalid. Stress. That's the name of the game. All right, we got some green coming up here. VIX down to 1734. So that's going to draw us higher. 10 years, over 10 years. Ivy. There you go, Carrie. It's a good summary of why. Toasty, it's just I'm having more and more confidence with these levels, so I'm taking more positions at just through back testing and experience is taking more position at these levels. No. Yeah, Floyd's Garage, yeah, for sure. Even if you don't want to trade just SPY, like find a few good tickers that have good price movement and liquidity and volume, and learn how to trade those. When you start scatterbraining yourself across everything, everything Reddit throws at you, everything news throws at you, it's hard to do that. So I would much rather focus on something like SPY or even Amazon. I love trading Amazon and figuring out price movement, become intimate with how they interact and how they change and how they respect levels, and then read behind the scenes with their data, their gamma levels, their volume, all that stuff, and start to focus on a few good things. And the key thing there is liquidity. Don't choose a stock that have very large spreads and have low liquidity because it's hard to time positions in and out. So yeah, thanks, Toasty. Mike, I would suggest there's no really good answer to that. I mean, if you have a 9-to-5 job, obviously there's only so much you can do. A couple of workarounds are on your off time to use the replay function with TradingView, which I'll show you that. For example, if I were to replay yesterday and I want to relive my trade that got me, use a replay function. Come back here. This is yesterday, and where'd the play button go? Right here. See? And hit the replay function. You could test that. Good way to learn. If you want to do some actual live trading, trade futures. And then next week, you can start trading SPX. Trade futures. All right there. All right, well, if I don't hop off here, I think eventually you're going to start to hear my stomach growl. So I'm going to hop off here, go get some food. I got some protein with my name on it. But anyway, I think it's been a pretty successful day. We've managed to navigate the chop pretty well. We've had two great positions today. Awesome wins. I think both plus 10% wins, so good stuff. So I appreciate y'all being here. I hope you learned a little something along the way, a little bit about patience, a little bit about navigating the levels, a little bit about watching the overall market, VIX, QQQ, tech, and tying everything together. So yeah, if you want to come over and join the Discord, the link's down in the description. Join the Patreon. You can come hang out in the trading room. We talk all the time. Me, Veteran, other people are having a great conversation, pitching back and forth between how to trade, what to trade, when to trade, and all that stuff in between. So a lot of good stuff, If you want to head over to the merch store, take a look at a good hoodie, theoptionsmillionaire.com. yeah, eventually, right now we only have one hoodie, but we're going to have more stuff coming out in the future. Be on the lookout for that, especially we have as the holiday season comes up. Anyway, thank y'all for being here. I appreciate it. Until next time, I'm out. See ya.